Imagine this. You're on your bike, Friday evening, golden hour. The kind of ride that makes you remember why you bought the thing in the first place. You're not doing anything stupid, you're just riding. Then, the SUV in the next lane doesn't check its blind spot. Just drifts right into you, like you don't exist. You've got maybe half a second to react. You lay it down. Or you don't. Doesn't matter. At 55 miles an hour, physics doesn't care about your reflexes. You fall down and slide across the street until everything comes to a stop. And for a second, you're just lying there, staring at the sky, thinking, that wasn't so bad. Oh, hey there. Yeah, about that wasn't so bad thing. Hold that thought, because your body is currently lying to you in a very specific, very well-documented way, and we're going to get into exactly why. But first, 2 facts about motorcycle crashes that should leave you thinking twice about buying one. Fact 1. Mile for mile, if you're on a motorcycle, you are roughly 27 times more likely to die than the guy next to you in a Honda Civic. Same road, same rules, same distance. 27 times the odds. That's not a motorcycles are a little riskier number. That's a you're playing a completely different game number. Fact 2. And this is the one nobody thinks about until it happens to them. When it comes to major traumatic limb loss in this country, losing an arm or a leg permanently in an instant, motor vehicle collisions are the single biggest cause. Not gunshots, not power tools, cars and bikes. And if you're the one on 2 wheels, there's no door panel, no frame, no crumple zone standing between your leg and whatever you hit, just you. So keep both of those in your back pocket, because you're about to find out exactly how Fact 1 and Fact 2 team up to kill you in under 10 minutes. Meet your aorta, widest artery in your body, floating loose through your chest, anchored at just one point, a small ligament near your heart. Everywhere else, it's free. So when your body slams to a stop at 60, your heart decelerates one way, and the aorta whips against that single anchor point, like snapping a garden hose against a fence post. The tear happens instantly, and it's completely invisible from the outside. No blood, no bruise. Just a hose under way too much pressure, failing in layers. Inner, middle, then the outer layer. The only thing now standing between you and full-blown catastrophe. Like duct tape wrapped around a burst pipe, which means you can have a torn aorta and be standing up, talking, walking around, convinced you got lucky. This is the lucid interval, and it's exactly as dangerous as it sounds, because nobody, including you, thinks anything's wrong. While that's happening quietly in your chest, your leg's dealing with something much louder. When the bike goes down, it can trap your leg underneath it or between it and whatever you hit. Crush force from 2 directions at once. Sometimes that means a shattered leg still attached. Sometimes it's severe enough to sever the limb on impact. And sometimes it's degloving, the skin and tissue torn clean off the muscle and bone underneath, like peeling off a glove, because skin can only stretch so far before it lets go entirely. None of this requires high speed. A bike tipping over at 15 miles an hour with your leg underneath it can do it. Speed just makes it worse. Motor vehicle collisions are already the leading cause of major traumatic limb loss in this country. And if you're the one without a door or a frame protecting you, your legs are the ones paying that bill. So now you've got 2 wars running at once. A hose quietly tearing in your chest, a wound bleeding loudly from your leg, and a finite amount of blood to fight both. Let's watch the clock run out. 0 to 10 seconds. You're down. Adrenaline's flooding your system so hard, you barely register the leg. That's not denial, that's neurochemistry. Endogenous opioids and adrenaline blunting pain signals in real time so your body can, theoretically, get you out of danger. You might even try to stand. You might succeed. Your leg's a mess, but shock has a way of turning catastrophic into weirdly manageable for a few minutes. Meanwhile, in your chest, the aortic tear is sealed behind that one thin layer of tissue, holding, for now, 10 seconds to 2 minutes. This is the lucid interval doing its worst work. You're talking. Maybe you're apologizing to the other driver. Maybe you're on the phone already, telling someone you're okay, you just need a ride, don't worry. Your leg is visibly, undeniably wrong, and that's the injury getting all the attention. From you, from bystanders, from anyone who stops. Nobody's worried about your chest. Why would they? You're standing there talking to them. Underneath, the adventitious under a pressure it was never built to hold. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. 2 to 5 minutes. Two things are draining you now, and neither one is being properly addressed. The leg wound's bleeding steadily, visible blood loss anyone can see and try to stop. The aorta's a different story. When it goes, and it will, blood doesn't trickle into your chest, it floods it. Full thickness rupture turns a slow leak into your chest cavity, filling with blood in seconds, not minutes. This is the moment the lucid interval ends. You're mid-sentence, maybe, and your blood pressure just falls off a cliff, not gradually, like someone cut the brake line. 5 to 8 minutes. Hemorrhagic shock, and it's compounding from both directions now. Heart racing, trying to compensate for blood it doesn't have. Skin going pale, then gray. You're cold, confused, and it's getting hard to keep your eyes open. Not because you're tired, because your brain isn't getting the oxygen it needs to keep you conscious. If bystanders are applying pressure to your leg, it's not going to be enough, because the real bleed is somewhere they can't reach and don't even know exists. 8 to 10 minutes. You're losing consciousness. Somewhere, sirens are getting closer, but the math isn't in your favor. A ruptured aorta, fully torn, kills most people before they ever reach a hospital, sometimes before help even arrives. If paramedics get to you in this window, if the tear's still partially contained, if a trauma team's minutes away with blood products and a surgeon ready to go, there's a chance. If not, this is where it ends. Quietly, on the inside, exactly like it started. Time for the numbers. And I'm not going to sugarcoat these, because sugarcoating them is how people end up here. Per mile traveled, motorcyclists die at roughly 27 times the rate of people in cars. Not because riders are reckless by nature, because when something goes wrong, a car occupant has a cage, crumple zones, and airbags between them and the outcome. You just have gear, if you're wearing any, and physics. Helmets matter more than almost anything else you can control. NHTSA puts helmet effectiveness at roughly 37% for preventing death and about 67% for preventing traumatic brain injury. That's not a marginal improvement. That's the single biggest lever a rider has, and it's the one people skip for comfort or vibes. On the limb side, motor vehicle collisions are the leading cause of major traumatic limb loss in the country, ahead of workplace accidents, ahead of power tools, ahead of everything except combat injuries in military populations. And motorcyclists carry a disproportionate share of that number, precisely because there's nothing between their legs and the thing that hits them. Here's the part that should really sit with you. None of what you just heard, the aorta, the degloving, the crush injuries, required anything unusual. No stunt riding, no 120 miles an hour on a closed course. Just an ordinary evening, an ordinary lane change gone wrong, and a body that was never designed to absorb that much energy without something built specifically to absorb it for you.